sleeping. The Raiders fired their head coach, Josh McDaniel. They fired their general manager, Dave Ziegler. Happy Halloween. Good morning to you. Happy November. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and DC. Forgot what you guys look like. Good to see you.
What's up?
It's been a minute, man.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been Thursday, right? Because Friday we're out at the golf course. Crummy day it was out there. I mean, the sun came up. It was, Jason told me we lost by 6 strokes. I didn't play well. I feel completely responsible for that. We'll totally eat that. This is big news, man. I'm not going to tell you I'm surprised. I'm not going to tell you, though, I expected it. The Davante Adams stuff might have had something to do with it after the game that they lost last weekend, or I guess it was Monday night. Quote, Mark Davis, owner, Las Vegas Raiders. After much thought about what the Raiders need to move forward, I have decided to part ways with Josh and Dave. I want to thank them both for their hard work and wish them and their families nothing but the best. End quote. Template. Insert names. Insert your team. Template. And that's what they. I mean, no, seriously, am I wrong?
No. Wait a second. What is happening?
Yeah. Hey, Margaret, pull up the template for firing coaches. Whatever, we got to put out a statement. You know, the one where it says we wish them well and moving forward and have to go in a different direction, and just put in Raiders and put their names in and just.
At least they let him get back home.
Oh, that was nice. They didn't fire him on the tarmac. You mean in Detroit the other night?
Just let him fly home, then get the message. Come get your stuff in the morning. See you later.
All right. Surprised?
At the timing of it, yes. I am surprised. As inept as the Raiders have been offensively, this is a season that was highlighted by Davante Adams' outburst. But it's an offense that's bottom 4 in points per game. It's a team that at least thought they were going to be confident on that side of the football with Jimmy Garoppolo, Davante Adams, Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs has struggled to get going. We have 0 catches in the first half from your star wide receiver. And the frustration mounted. And you can say, yes, Josh McDaniels was in the hot seat, but when it's a 1 a.m. Eastern time news drop, it's a little surprising.
Is that when it dropped?
Yeah.
So it was 10 o'clock last night?
Yeah. Like,
o'clock?
Okay.
10 o'clock last night on the West Coast. I don't know if it made the local news in Oakland or in Vegas last night. All right, so that's out there. It's now, where do they go? Rich Bisaccia around? I mean, Harbaugh's the name that comes up first, right? Is that where you go immediately? An Al Davis son hire, like Mark Davis hire, a Raiders splash hire, a sexy, successful, and look, the posse may come get him. Now, I know he wants to finish this thing. He's got a really good team. Jim Harbaugh does at Michigan. They got a real good opportunity to be, and we're going to get into the CFP rankings and all that came out, but they got a really good chance, don't they? And I know he wants to finish it, but I don't know that he can get through after this year. I think by the time the investigation, it might be conveniently after the season's over, by the time they finally say, yep, that's that dude in a fake mustache on the sideline. Yep, they did all that, and Harbaugh's the guy, and he is going to be suspended. All right, he's with the NFL. Right? I don't know that he wants to, but the timing just feels right. And look, I think the Bears want him. The Bears are going to make a move, right?
And for Jim Harbaugh, if you want the NFL life, then go to the NFL. This is still college athletics. There's still things you can't do that you're trying to do, and then blaming everyone else for being wrong.
I don't think you're wrong there. And I think he wanted the college life. No, I think when he left the Niners.
But he is making it so difficult on himself, and then all they want to do is blame everyone else.
Yeah, I think when he left, I think this is what he wanted. And if he gets them to the mountaintop, he succeeded, didn't he?
Absolutely.
I mean, he may leave them in trouble. They may be on probation.
They might have an empty trophy case.
But I know what my eyes saw, right?
Yeah.
No, honestly. And I don't know if they'll rip it from him, however they'll do it, but they'll play these games out, and he'll get his moment. He's never flat out said no, has he, to all these NFL jobs? Everyone that comes over open every season, every off season, there's Harbaugh rumors, right? every time. And I think he's a good coach. I mean, he's a lot to deal with, but he wins. It took a long time at Michigan, but it feels like he's got him there, right?
Of course.
I don't know. Who else do you like? I mean, what feels like a them hire? Lincoln Kennedy would feel like a them hire to me, to be honest with you. But he can't play defense. He can't teach defense. Yeah. Was this his fault, McDaniels? And I go back to it, and the answer is yes, okay? But when I listen to Davante Adams, frustrated, and I can't tell you I blame him. What do you have, one catch the other night?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, thank you. If that was the week that you were going to have one, I was tied going in, and dude had Goff and Davante Adams, and I had Sam Laporta.
I had Goff and Adams, and I did not win.
Did I play you?
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Somehow you jumped
I
into Kansas
somehow pulled one out that there was no way I should have. But anyway, Jim Garoppolo's got to look his way, right? Don't the quarterbacks have to look his way? Josh McDaniels isn't throwing the football. Now, I guess he could say force the football in there.
Well, it's also the decision is they decided Derek Carr was part of the problem.
Yeah.
Benched him at the end of last year.
Yeah.
Moved on to Jimmy Garoppolo.
Derek Carr's playing better now.
You have a running back that was leading the league in rushing last year that can't get going. And then you have a Raiders offense that's 31st in total offense, 32 in rushing yards per game.
Who's their offensive coordinator?
30th in points.
Who's their offensive? Is it him? Is he? I mean,
well,
he's an offensive guy.
He's one of those head coaches that it feels like, all right, you have an OC, but this is your offense because you're the offensive guy.
Yeah. All right. 505-246-0610 if you can get in today. If you want to get in today, if you, we're here for you is really kind of the point. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. On the Twitter, it's _JJ Buck, and on the Facebook, the OD in the AM. You can watch the show there. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks, Comcast Channel 26, ProView Networks YouTube channel. I'm looking forward to our guest coming up here in about 8 minutes. Barry Odom is the head football coach at UNLV. Lobos will play UNLV on Saturday afternoon. It is a 4 o'clock start. I got kind of looked at their press release. I'm like, whoa, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock our time out at University Stadium. I'll have the call on the Mountain West Network with George Carter. They are, and I don't think I'm being hyperbolic in this, one of the best stories in college football this year. The Rebels are 6-2 overall, 3-1 in Mountain West. Just took their first Mountain West Conference loss. Their other loss is at Michigan, who, what are they, second in the CFP? And they lost 35-3 there early in the season. The turnaround, they've been doing it with a freshman quarterback. What has been going on at UNLV? Do you think I'm hyperbolic when I say it's one of the best stories in college football this year?
No, because you talk to football people, and then you look at the Fresno State game in which they led 17-7.
And had a chance. They had a drop ball in the end zone late.
Yep. A game-tying, what could have been a game-tying or go-ahead touchdown, depending on if they kick the extra point or go for 2 points at the end of the game. And I've talked to some people that say this is probably the second best, if not the best, coach football team they've watched on film that the Lobos have played.
It's an amazing story in a lot of respects because I think you and I were both surprised, not stunned, but surprised when they fired Marcus Arroyo at the end of last season, right? When they won the Cannon, they won their big rivalry game against Reno at the end of the season, and they ended up 5-7. And I think there were some who were surprised. And then there were others who were like, yeah, whatever, that was coming, that needed to happen. And so they bring in a guy named Barry Odom, who was at Arkansas, who was a coordinator. And he is taking, like people love this guy. And he's an unassuming guy. He is, but people just flat out love this gentleman in that town and what he's doing. So looking forward to that conversation, how he's doing it, why he's doing it, how good this team really is. JJ, I don't think people are wrong when they say they could be the second best team in that league. When you watch them, you know, no, they lost to Fresno State, and I think, you know, I think the right answer is Air Force now.
It's the in the moment versus overall. And I think Fresno State has an edge over UNLV, but I've talked to multiple people that broken down the film, watch that Fresno State UNLV game and have that opinion that overall UNLV could be the second best team in the league.
Yeah. They've got playmakers everywhere, both on offense and defense. And this is, I mean, I don't know. Can you ever remember a UNLV team being this good?
Good? No.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think they've been to one bowl game in 20 years.
Maybe Randall Cunningham was playing quarterback?
I mean, maybe, but I think that was more a Randall Cunningham thing than it was the whole team. You know what I'm saying? They're 6-2. It's the first time UNLV's been bowl eligible this early. It just doesn't happen, right? It's the first time they've been bowl eligible for a bowl since 2013. The earliest they've won 6 games since 1984, when they were in the PCAA, the Pacific Coast Athletic Association. They've got an upbeat offense. They move the ball. So this is going to be an interesting one. So when we come back, we're going to have a conversation. And how are they so good? We'll go to the architect. Barry Odom is the UNLV head coach. You're going to enjoy the conversation. I know you will. They're coming in on Saturday. They'll be here Friday. They're playing on Saturday. And that's next. UNLV head coach Barry Odom on the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Bateman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet.
Carter, welcome back, and we'll get back to your phone calls in a little bit. Opening drive here on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. UNLV is one of the best stories, one of the best turnarounds. One of the best things going right now in college football. Rebels, you know the history of the program. They are now bowl eligible for the first time since 2013. And it's the earliest the Rebels have won 6 games since 1984 when they were in the PCAA, the old Pacific Coast Athletic Association. They're doing it with a first-year head coach, Barry Odom. They're doing it with a freshman quarterback, and they're doing it really as a well-coached team that's playing well. They're coming off a conference loss, a really tight game at Fresno over the weekend. They lost 31-24 to the Bulldogs, a game which they led. They had an opportunity to tie it up. And their head coach, Barry Odom, joins us this morning on the Sports Animal. Barry, good morning. How you living?
I'm good, Jeff. Thanks for having me on, man. I sure appreciate it.
No, really appreciate you spending some time with us. Congratulations on the success. Are you accepting congratulations so far, even though the job's not done?
No, sir. Well, I sure appreciate it, but we're just scratching the surface, and I'm so proud of our kids on what they've done. But man, there's so much out there, and so the focus on trying to achieve. We still haven't played a complete game, offense, defense, kicking, and we're on the pursuit for that. There's been parts of games that we've played really well, but we haven't put one together completely, and we're working tirelessly to try to get that done.
Barry, football's X's and O's, but I think it's like any other business. I think it's a people business. It's a relationship business. And I remember the first time I met you, and it was in Scottsdale. It was at the spring meetings, walking to the function one evening. I met you and your wife, and we talked then. I remember we had the conversation, JJ and I and you, in Vegas earlier this year before the season started. And I've got a lot of good friends in Vegas who say that the town has just fallen in love with you. And I'm not looking to tell you all this just to blow smoke at you, but obviously you've realized this is more than just X and O's. There's been good X and O coaches that have come into Vegas and maybe haven't won. What are you doing there that you've won over that town at such a pivotal time?
Well, I think really you look at my experiences. I've always, fortunately, I've been around really, really good people, and had a chance to work with a Hall of Fame coach in Gary Pinkel, and a tremendous leader in Sam Pittman at Arkansas. Worked with Justin Fuente when I was at Memphis, and every one of those guys were able to piece together a staff that were driven really on the human element of what coaching is. We're in education, we're in teaching, we're in mentoring, and if you take the approach, in my opinion, of the opportunity to use football as a vehicle to prepare them for life, and you deal in honesty, openness, and love, then you develop real relationships. And if you do that, then you've got an opportunity to hopefully transform young men's lives and make our society a better place. The unfortunate part, a lot of times in coaching, you don't get the opportunity to spend a number of years in one spot to really develop that. And my family, my wife and 3 kids, we've always been able to, wherever we are, put our feet there, embrace the city, understand that it's home, make it home for every situation that we have a chance to meet folks and get to know the city or the town that we're living in. And Vegas has been unbelievable to myself and my family, and been very welcoming.
Yeah.
The thing with our team, from the day we started, I could tell that they were so hungry they wanted to be coached. And that was the start of this. Number one, we've got a great staff. Number two, I think the locker room is galvanized on the message on what we're trying to get done and accomplished every day. And then they've been hungry to be coached. They've tried every single week. That's been our goal, is to make progress and be better today, this week than we were last week, and as the season goes on. So that's a way too long of an answer, but I enjoy coaching. I mean, I love the ability that we have together as a staff to try to build a team. That is rewarding to me. I enjoy it. I enjoy the process of that. There's always setbacks. You learn from those, or you better, and then you try to put it into play when that situation arises again. And
it's working, Barry.
We're far from a finished product, but excited about our opportunity.
Yeah, he's Barry Odom, and it's obviously working. The head coach at UNLV, and it'll be the Lobos and the Rebels on Saturday at 4:00.
Barry, JJ Buck here. You're a football guy, but 100-meter dash, how did that change your trajectory when it came to the sport of football?
When I ran the 100, I was more of a 400-meter guy, and then I ran the 100, and there's a couple of meets that I ended up on the top of the medal stand, and I feel like the track was downhill. I had a wind at my back, and was able to end up running with some speed. We had in small town Oklahoma, where I grew up, sports and the community involvement was everything, and it was such. I took pride in representing my community or my town in being able to play sport, and track was a big part of that. I wouldn't have ended up. I ended up going to the University of Missouri, and that's where I played college ball and got my degree. But had it not been for track, I wouldn't have had that opportunity because I was not a highly recruited guy. They came through in the spring of my senior year, recruiting a kid in our a year below me in spring recruiting, and they just happened to walk out to track practice. They're like, this guy can run a little bit. Went in and looked at the film and offered me a scholarship, and that changed, obviously, my life course history on what football was able to do for me in the grand scheme of things.
How does that affect you when you're looking at kids to recruit and trying to think, maybe, is there something we missed? Is there somewhere else we can look? Because especially, in this day and age where it's not necessarily all about focusing on high school kids with everything else that's going on with the transfer portal.
Yeah, I think, number one, we're a high school recruiting program. And we've taken plenty of portals and transfer guys. But from a foundational building approach, we're a high school recruiting team and program. And we're going to continue that because I believe especially in Vegas, there's tremendous high school coaches. There's great high school talent. And if we get those guys, we can develop in the program, and then they become invested in UNLV. It's our program together. You've got an understanding that you start recruiting a kid at the age of 16 or 17, they're invested in you, you're in them. And then by year 2 or year 3, if you recruit right, then you've got a guy that is you've got a chance to develop them within the structure of your program, and they're really talented players. So we base and recruit on speed, on size, on athleticism, on explosion. And if you can do those things, then it should be our job to be able to turn you into a good football player. And we've had success with that on projecting guys. I love the ability to find a guy that's a multi-sport guy. And that's really, really big for us, the competitive spirit part. How much do they like ball? Do they like the process of playing football, or do they just want the 3.5 hours on a Saturday? There's a difference. Right. So our staff has done a great job with the evaluation piece, and we're excited about the young kids we have in our program as well.
Barry Odom's UNLV's coach. It's the Rebels and Lobos on Saturday out of University Stadium. All right, so I remember when we're looking at this team, and I think JJ and I both kind of said, wow, they may have the best quarterback in the league in Doug Brumfield. And if Doug Brumfield is healthy, they can be really good, and that was the key. He's been out, and you found Jaden Maeva, a local kid, a redshirt freshman who came off the bench, who's had last-minute drives and won games against Colorado State and Vanderbilt, and has been playing for you. So, yeah, the quarterback position's been key for you. It might not have been the guy. Is Doug playing this week, and what has Jaden meant for this club? Is he surprised you at all?
Well, I think there's, in the game of football, the quarterback position is the most important position in all of sport. Their leadership, the command of the offense, the decision-making all the things that go into it. And fortunately for me in my career, I've been around a lot of really, really good ones. And that makes the job for everybody else a lot easier. It's also important to note that the 10 guys around that position, they better play well and make it easy on them.
No doubt.
Jaden has come in and he prepared so well from the time that we got here. And I think we've got 3 quarterbacks on our roster that we can win with and win at a high level. And it's because of the work that they put in, the way that they approach every single day. And they all know that they're a play away from being the guy, and how much we put on that position. It's so vitally important for us to have success.
Can I ask you a question about facilities? You're playing in an NFL facility. You're not the main tenant, but I know the city made it very, very clear that part of the deal with city money going in is it's going to be the home of the Rebels. You got the Petita Center that just went up recently, so you've got a new facility back on campus, which has really been the state-of-the-art home for Rebel football. What has the upgrade in facilities meant? And I know you weren't there prior, but you're there now. What does it mean as far as recruiting and building a program?
Well, I think, number one, Eric Harper, our director of athletics, has got a great vision for what he wants UNLV athletics to be, and that was appealing to me when we first started talking about this job. One big focal point of that is facilities. We've got one of the finest football facilities in all of football. It doesn't matter what school we're talking about. Our football complex that our kids come to every day, everything's under one roof, from sports medicine to academic resource center, locker room, meeting room, weight room, goes right out to our practice. So there's not a better setup in all of college football. And then the ability to play in Allegiant, I think it is, we've turned it into a home field advantage for us. I think it's one of the finest facilities in all of not only the United States but the world to play the game of that we get a chance to on each Saturday, and we've embraced that. There's a number of opportunities in Vegas, and I looked at it as there's one Vegas in the entire world. Yep. Let's embrace it. Let's find ways creatively for us to collaborate and be part of the city, but also make it the city's team, because there's enough space here to have an elite college football program.
Now you're on your way, 6-2, and one of the best teams in this league. Certainly, you will be in a bowl game, and you'll be in town on Saturday. We're looking forward to seeing it. I'll have the call with George Carter on the Mountain West Network, and Barry, we're looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. Appreciate you spending a few minutes with us here on the Sports Animal. Barry, thanks for the time. Safe travels.
Thanks so much. Y'all have a great week. See you Saturday.
Be well. Barry Odom, he's doing. I don't know if he's up for Coach of the Year because there's some kind of insane things going on around the country. But wouldn't you say he's a top 10 guy, Coach of the Year in college football?
Yeah,
Troy Calhoun.
And here's the thing: they have took advantage of their schedule.
Yeah.
You got to go out there and win games when you are the better team than your opponent. They have done that, and then it is a compliment. And I've heard it from multiple people when they are watching the film and they say, "Man, this team is coached really well."
That's what you were going to tell them, huh? Just now. That was the one thing. Was that the next thing you had?
No, but it's just, and this is come from people that have been game planning, people that have been watching film, and that stands out. And it was all phases of the game, and that is how you get to 6 wins. That is how you take a next step as a program.
Yeah, I appreciate Barry spending some time with us. All right, when we come back, a lot of NFL stuff going on. Oh, by the way, the World Series last night, 11-6. Rangers ran away. They put 2 of their main guys on the shelf during the day. You figure, all right, here's the Diamondbacks opening, and all of a sudden they're down 10-0. What the heck is going on there? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
Brought to you by the Sandoval County Clerk's Office. It's easy.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
so that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Hey, Dad, I'm gonna go out.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most.
Series, with everything going on, it's kind of crazy, right? I mean, the World Series is happening, and I don't know. Is it because of the teams? Is it because they're not Dodgers, Yankees, Red Sox? Is that it? Or because the series hasn't been bad. It's actually been relatively entertaining. Last night it got away from the Diamondbacks. They came back and made it close late, but I mean, it wasn't nearly as close as the score would dictate. Is it? I don't know. I mean, people tell you it's just baseball. It might be a combination of all that, right?
It's a little bit of everything. You are going to take a hit when you're not name brand teams, and 2 of the 4 games haven't been close.
Yeah. It got away from him yesterday. It really did. It was, what was it, 10-0 before you turned around? I was watching on the plane coming back, and it was like, wow, all right. But you see Adolis Garcia go out. You see Max Scherzer go out. The Rangers took their best player. Yeah. I don't want to say by far, because you can make a real argument. Who's a better player? Who's their best player? Is it Adolis Garcia or is it Corey Seager?
Well, Garcia's been the hottest player in the
Corey
postseason.
Seager's pretty damn hot.
And then all of a sudden, Corey Seager's like, oh, by the way, I hit postseason dingers too.
Have you watched me? Do you know who I am? Yeah. I mean, he's the MVP if this thing goes the way it's going, right? I mean, one of their 2 best players that you take off the roster. The one guy in that lineup, and that's probably not right anymore. One of the 2 guys in that lineup you fear, right? When he comes up, that's one of those guys where
Not
you're
a
like,
postseason heater.
Smokes.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. And then you take a Max Scherzer, who I've thought has been done, but he's still Max Scherzer, and you wonder if he has magic in there. He's hurt.
Yeah. And if you're the Rangers, you're like, all right, Evaldi Montgomery. Yeah. That's the key.
And they didn't even need either one of those
They're
guys.
at 3-1.
Yeah.
And they get those guys coming up next.
Andrew Haney was really good last night. I'm not a fan of bullpen games. I know you are, and you've been trying to get me to, you just got to deal with it, dude. Evolve, you adapt to it, bullpen games. And the Diamondbacks went with a bullpen game last night, and they got torched. I mean, literally just torched it. I thought Torrey, look, it's easy to say, which guy's going to give you 5 innings and which guy's going to, you don't know going in. You don't know which guy's got a third of an inning and which guy's got 5 innings in him. And yeah, you just don't know. Nelson was the guy last night who settled things down, but by the time, like he pulled Mantiply early after an inning of third. I was a little surprised. Castro and Nelson, the first Nelson, Kyle Nelson got lit up. And it was gone. And you just don't know who's going to have it that night. I'm not a huge fan of them. I know, like you said, you've been trying to get me there.
Well, it's not that I love them. It's the reality of it is there's not that many quality starting pitchers.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Like, it's easy to say go throw 6 innings. But if you're go out there and you give up 5 runs in an inning, how are you going to get to 6?
Yeah, you're not. Ryan Nelson almost did.
Yeah.
I mean, he almost did. But yeah, no, you're right. And look, Haney, a quality start now, is that considered 5 innings? I mean, I don't know by definition if it is, but I mean, when you're looking around, is that a quality start now? Kind of is,
yeah,
right?
Yes, I see what you're saying. You went 5 innings. All right, that's a solid
boy. You
day.
qualify
Let's go.
for a win. Yay! And you got the old school guys sitting back just going, "What? If I went 5 innings, I got fired." I threw 8. I had 26 complete games in 1982. Whatever. Yeah, it's the way it used to be, man. Complete games was it's not even a thing anymore. It's just not even a thing. And winning isn't a thing. Like winning as far as being a winning pitcher. A guy would get 300 wins. That was amazing. Do you think we'll ever see a guy get 300 wins again?
It's so funny you ask. We had this conversation after the show, and I think across the board is no, we won't.
Because guys don't pitch deep enough into the game. A quality start is 5, 6. You went 7 innings? Holy, and then the game
The definition is 6 innings, 300 runs or less.
It used to be 7, and now it's 6. Okay. And so you go 6 innings, but the game totally changes on the back end when you're going setup guy, closer guy. The game and it gets away, and so you don't get a win. A guy, wow, he won the Cy Young. He was 12-4, 12 wins. The game's changed so much, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm not looking to be old guy, get off my lawn. But with all due respect, the game was out of hand. The Rangers jumped out early. Diamondbacks made it close with 4 in the 8th and 2 in the 9th, and so maybe they covered a bet somewhere.
Yeah, well, you look at the Rangers, you do what you got to do to get by in the regular season, and then if you have 2 really good starting pitchers.
Yeah.
That's all you need in the postseason.
You just keep running them. All right, 505-246-0610. So, big news overnight. Raiders fired their coach. Josh McDaniels got fired. Also, their general manager, Dave Ziegler, fired. You fired. Mark Davis made the change. Raider fan, where are you? Is it on Josh McDaniels? And we're done seeing him as a head coach now, right? I mean, God bless him. He gets paid out. He's made plenty of money being a head coach. Does he go back to Belichick now? Like, honestly, are those two, is that Belichick saving his job? Well, bring back Josh, and we'll be fine. And Josh will come back next year, and we'll be fine.
Yeah. Where is he going to be a offensive quality assistant the rest of the season?
He's been a good offensive coordinator, right? In his career? Or is it just he's been Tom Brady's guy? Is he...
He was the OC when Mac Jones went to the playoffs, 10-win season as a rookie.
All right. Or is he Nathaniel Hackett to Aaron Rodgers?
It's leaning that way.
Although Nathaniel Hackett will never get the credit, but is he making progress with Zach Wilson?
No.
All right. Did you watch that game? I know you guys talked about it Monday. Was that the stupidest ending of a game, the Giants-Jets, ever? And I've seen some dumb endings.
Game.
Well, the whole game was. All right, but I'm on the plane, and so I didn't get red zone.
But you got Jets Giants?
Because you get the New York channels,
yes.
Right?
Like, eat this.
And so I had to eat that crap. And so I got nothing else, and I'm watching it. And what was it, 50 seconds to go?
I still put it on the notes today. I was like, we just have to go back and talk about just how bad that game was.
Where's it on your nose? It was just say just how bad was Jets versus Giants. I look at it, and Tyrod Taylor went 4 for 7 and got knocked out, and they brought in
Tommy DeVito.
So is he the Louis De Palma from Taxi's kid? Remember Danny DeVito's character? 2 for 7 and lost a yard passing because all they would do was run screens. And so they get down there. It's so easy to rip on Brian Dable right now for not going and putting the game away. But for crying out loud, I got a professional field goal kicker, and I'm asking him to make a 33-yard chip shot.
Got to make it.
That's not on Brian Dable. It's just not. Now, you can have a conversation. Is it on him that he doesn't have a quarterback that can throw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage? Yeah, that's
down to QB3.
Okay, QB3 should still be able to throw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage.
We see a lot of QB1s that can't.
QB3 it needs to be. I mean, you're a freaking professional quarterback. What QB1 can't?
Is Tommy DeVito a professional quarterback or the guy that's selling the slices at halftime?
Both. Probably both.
Let's play the game, Jeff.
He's probably the guy who made the
Tommy
slice.
DeVito.
Yeah, Tommy DeVito is the guy who owns the pizzeria on 33rd and 3rd. He's the starting quarterback. He's your parking attendant or he's your mother's accountant. Right? Who's Tommy DeVito?
Yeah.
And they gave Saquon Barkley,
I know,
36 carries in that game.
But running back's not important. Running back's not important. Do you blame that game on the coach? I know we got to take this break.
What did the Jets do? They hit their last 2 field goals.
I mean, I just, and then all of a sudden, boom, boom, Zach Wilson looks like Aaron Rodgers hitting 2 guys down the field, make a couple of really good throws, like 2 good plays to get the ball down the field, and their kicker kicks, and it was one of the dumbest. Anyway, but I don't blame the coach on this one. It's so easy to blame the coach. It's always the coach's. I don't know, dude. Do your job. It was like the Brock Purdy thing in their first of their 3 losses in a row. He got him in a field goal position. He did his job. Go put the ball through the sticks. That's what you're here to do. Rams fire their kicker. All right, I know we're late. 505-246-0610. Raider fan, let's go. Where are we going with this? Where are we going with your head coach? Who should it be? The Bears fired a coach, not that one. And the Niners. The Niners, the trade of the deadline. The rich get richer, the poor get the picture. The bombs never hit you when you're down so low. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. the sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Commanders traded a guy who had a great rookie season, has been good when healthy since. Chase Young, defensive end, number 2 overall pick. Trade him to San Francisco for a 3rd-round pick. He's been their most productive pass rusher this season. He has been pretty good. They also traded Montez Sweat, by the way, did the Commanders, to the Bears. They got isn't that crazy? They got a 2nd-round pick for Sweat. Who's better, Sweat or Chase Young?
Wow. Chase Young has the upside, but Sweat has the equity.
Okay. I would tell you, I think Chase Young's more valuable. They got a 3rd-round pick for Chase
But I believe
Young.
Sweat is he a free agent after this season, or does he have?
And that might be
extra
the difference
year?
because I know that Chase Young is.
Yeah, they both are.
They're both. That's what I thought.
That's a third, yeah, and that's a 3rd-round pick from the 49ers. If you actually go look into it,
So that's a lower 3rd-round pick.
with the comp selections they're getting back from free agent signings and coaches that got hired this year, it's pretty much a freebie. Chase Young trade for them.
But for the Niners, because
Yes.
they got compensatory picks, right? I think they had 3 I can't even say it. Compensatory 3rd-round picks. Those come when you lose a free agent and you get nothing back. You get a 3rd-round pick. Or it's valued at a certain place. And so, to your point, that's absolutely right. They had they had extra picks. So this meant nothing to them. They got him, and boom.
Actually, the pick they used to get him was they got that compensatory pick because of their hiring.
You say compensatory so easily.
Yeah, I know it's easy. Wow, rolls off, right? But no, it's because of who they interviewed in the hiring process of their
Oh, that was the Rooney Rule thing. Like
Yes,
they
yes.
had diversity in their coaching hires, so they get it.
Yeah. So essentially, they do the right thing.
Boy, you interviewed a minority. We're going to give you an extra pick.
And you got Chase Young out of the deal.
All right.
And I was telling
that's pretty crazy.
our quarterback Ned James, I'm like, man, this is your time. You're valuable again.
No doubt.
Go get an NFL job.
Let's just get interviewed, get dudes picks, right? All right. So Chase Young, free agent after the season. Washington declined to pick up his 5th-year option, and would have counted $17.5 million against the cap. So basically, the Niners are on a 3-game streak. I don't know how much you talked about this the other day. How concerned are you about the Niners? They haven't won in a month.
Slightly.
Okay, I think that's fair.
It's still a talented team. Defensively, they can get things going. Offensively, it's not as bad as you think with Brock Purdy. The turnovers have been a problem.
2nd place Niners, by the way. Just want to make sure that that was said. Jaguars, Bucks, Seahawks, Eagles coming up, and then Seahawks again.
What a stretch.
They're on a bye this week.
Is your boy top 10 after that?
Well, okay, and I knew that was coming, and I think that's fair. And so I start looking through. Well, I mean, he's only better than Kirk Cousins because he's what's the best ability? I forget.
Availability.
Yeah. So you got 10 quarterbacks that are going to play on Sunday that you like better than him?
Well, after this weekend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, is he top 10 after all this? I'm not blaming it all on Brock Purdy. I'm blaming some of it on Brock Purdy. I absolutely am like that. I just told you that first loss. Brock Purdy did his job. Brock Purdy got him down. That was against the Browns, right? Where the kicker missed a kick. Was he good against the Vikings? I didn't think so. And he wasn't good against the Bengals. Now, has he been figured out? The guy was undefeated, and he's lost 3 in a row. I still think he's a really good quarterback. If you're asking me how many guys are there that I want instead of him,
I wouldn't say he's a really good quarterback, but this is the time that he can prove what type of quarterback he is when it's not perfect.
Yep.
And you're not a superhuman team. This is the NFL. This is sports. This is going to happen. You're going to go through your ups and downs. And right now, the San Francisco 49ers going into the bye week are not playing like a superhuman football team. And can Brock Purdy be a part of elevating that? Instead, the turnovers have really hurt them when they're not playing their best football overall. And I want to see him respond. I want to see him try to get through this with the upcoming schedule. Kyle Shanahan was asked it earlier in the week. I think it's just a crazy question asked at this point in time about Brock Purdy. Already just someone brought up, is he going to be your starting quarterback moving forward? I think, of course he would.
Sam Darnold. I know. Chad, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Chad.
Hey guys, what's going on?
What's happening?
Just checking out the trading block yesterday. Just gotta say the 49ers should send the Washington football team there. They should send them a
Glittery
nice
basket.
Christmas present.
No doubt. No doubt.
You know, think about it. Trent Williams. You can Kyle Shanahan, their coach. Now you get Chase Young for a 3rd-round pick, and let's look at this kind of let's go back a few years. They picked up Trey Lance ahead of what could have been Chase Young. And now they get him pretty much for what they gave away Trey Lance for. So all those, I remember a lot of 49ers fans said, we could have gotten, Chase Young. Well, now you have him, and you didn't have to give away the farm to get him. So I think they're doing really well. They're going to have to consider how they're going to pay. Obviously, after this year, he's going to get paid. And they're obviously taking advantage of Brock Purdy's rookie contract. At some point, they're going for it right now, this year, next year,
No doubt.
because they're going to have to pay Brock Purdy very soon. But it's smart.
Or they're not.
They're building their
or they're not.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Chase Young does have, obviously he's had some injury problems with the Redskins, being healthy and at times productive, just playing a little smarter. He seems to kind of.
Well, look, he's going to be a free agent, so they can decide what they want to do. But they got him down for this run. And Chad, we got to run him at the top of the hour, but I appreciate the call.
No problem.
Thanks.
Okay.
They got him for this year. They can decide, right? And if they, they want to get in the free agent, they want to try to sign her. If he likes it there, look, almost for nothing. They got a really good pass rusher to get him through this season and to shore up that defense after giving up 31 to the Bengals the other day. And they're in a really good spot. All right, 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. When we come back, we'll look through more of the trade deadline, including the guy who's going to replace Kirk Cousins, I guess. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
I was listening to Aaron Rodgers a little bit yesterday on the where else? On the Pat McAfee show. He was just sitting in his car with his shades on. Like, did he just pull over in a parking lot yesterday? Mm-hmm. No, honestly. And he's on for a long time. He gives him a ton of minutes.
He's paying good money for those minutes.
That's what I understand. Is he going to give him $1 million?
I heard as much as 1.5, but it's all speculation.
And what's McAfee getting?
I know he signed a huge deal.
A chunk, right? And that's in large part why he got that deal, right? But he said he was talking to Kirk Cousins a little bit about the procedure that Rodgers had on his Achilles, which is a newer cutting edge procedure to make the recovery quicker. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and DC. Thank you for being with us on the first show of November. It's a big deal for us. It's our very first show in November of 2023. It's a big deal.
Real quick, McAfee signed an $85 million deal for 5 years with ESPN. He was making $120 over 4 years at FanDuel.
He was making 120 over. Wait. So say that again.
So when he moved to ESPN earlier this year, he signed an $85 million deal for 5 years.
So that's $17 million a year. So he cuts off $1.5 million for his buddy. Okay, that's fine. And what was he making before? 120
over 4 years at FanDuel.
That's way more. Why did he move?
ESPN.
That's $30 million a year.
He's also on Game Day now. He's got other
dude, $30 million to $18 million. He was making $30 million a year at FanDuel. Oh, do you think he's that good? I mean, he's good.
I mean, they're paying it, so he must be. It's amazing, though.
God bless him.
What do you think he made in his career as a kicker?
How many years did he play?
I'm about to look that up.
I'm going to guess he made, let's say he had a 12-year career. He probably made $24 million playing football. I mean, he's doing just fine, man. You know, he's able to send his kids, if he has any, to private school, right? He's able to go on vacation. What do you think?
Oh, his first contract was big contract was 4 years, $1.8 million.
So how much did he make?
Over his entire career, I'm trying to find.
So it's not even $24 million. He
no,
probably made about 15, maybe.
Yeah, you're right on. Over 8 seasons, he made just over $15 million.
Makes about right sense. I was watching on his show. Aaron Rodgers talked about the Achilles thing. So what the Vikings do, right? They went out at the trade deadline, and it was really interesting. I don't know how to feel about it, but I think it was the right move because I don't know if there was a more right move. They got Joshua Dobbs from the Cardinals. He had just been benched this week because they're going to give Clayton Tune a run, or they're going to try to get Kyler Murray back in, or whatever. And it was here, take our quarterback in a 6th and give me a 7th, or take whatever it was. It was like, here, just take him. Does that help save them? Because we were just saying, hey, this is a playoff team. They're right there.
It maybe helps save Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson in your fantasy lineups.
That's it, though.
Moving forward, yes.
Week.
Look at Trey McBride. Look at Hollywood Brown.
He's not playing.
Not this weekend, but the rest of the season. It's an upgrade from Jaren Hall. And the thing with Josh Dobbs, he's a really smart dude, and
evidently, man,
you need that type of guy that can pick up things quickly if you want him to be quarterback. When did Arizona acquire Dobbs from Cleveland? It was like a week before the season started.
Yeah,
August 24th.
Yeah, and he started opening day. Yeah, 2 weeks out. Yeah.
And so it's really is that this guy can pick up things quickly, come in. He might even have a limited role if needed this weekend, and just try to stabilize it. But the hope for the Vikings is gone without Kirk Cousins.
You know who's in the building? Sean Mannion.
Is he?
I mean, I believe he's in the building. Yeah,
he's the guy that's just standing in the corner, hasn't left.
Practice squad. They got.
Why, is that a Manning? What's that in the corner? Oh, that's Sean Mannion.
Sean Mannion. Yep. The former Oregon State coach. Nick Mullins on injured reserve. He's got a back issue. So where they going with Jaren Hall this weekend?
Jaren Hall. Fortunately,
BYU
was injured, did not play in the New Mexico Bowl
He did
last
not
year.
play in the New Mexico Bowl last year. In fact, they played a freshman quarterback who won MVP. But he was here. He was here for it. In fact, he was on the cover. I want to say he was on the cover of the program. So the two guys who were on the cover of the program last year for New Mexico Bowl now has led a New Mexico Bowl. Jaron Hall, starting quarterback, Minnesota Vikings, and Rashee Rice, I believe the leading wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. How about our little game? How about our little 24-23 primetime game, which is coming up in a month and a half? Huh? Just saying.
Only it was better.
It's so cute. All right, I got a bunch of emails. You want some?
I bet you have a bunch of emails. You haven't looked at them in 2 days.
I mean, they had to clear some of them out. And then is the text, I haven't even looked at the text line in a month. I have no idea. All right, emails. Really missing the point. He's missing the call-in show. Are you really missing the call-in show? Sunday at 1 a.m. after a bad loss would have gone down as a classic in the annals of Lobo football history. You'd have Rudy C. crying about the refs, Lance after several adult beverages, and Jess with a new nickname for the giggling Stigula. It's from Mike. Yeah, you used to host those. JJ used to host Stigler for years in DC, and then JJ would host the post-game call-in show for Lobo football and basketball. And those West Coast 8:30 games got it was Lance, who since passed, would call in.
That would have been a 2 a.m. call-in show.
Yeah. No
one wants to do that. Being honest.
Look, I've been very, as Bob Clark says, I'm very busy. I've been unable to make those shows. Yeah, I've been unable to do that. Maurice says, what are we doing, Jeffy? Remember 2021? John Rahm looked great. He felt great. It was on Stake's record pace at Jack's tournament. Then pulled not only him, but folks that he had been in contact with, like his caddy, off the court immediately because they were a threat to public health. Remember, he tested positive for COVID. They were going to kill Grandma who was watching the memorial at home. Flash forward to Sunday, and Patrick Mahomes is hurting on the sidelines, getting IVs at halftime. He was actually sick and a real threat to public health, yet I didn't hear a single expert or politician saying he shouldn't be out there. He needed to be quarantining to protect Grandma. Really, Maurice? We don't understand the difference here? I mean, really? That's what we're doing?
Start playing the Laffy Taffy game and stretching this out.
Yeah. Gene, okay, we had Barry Odom on. Barry Odom is the head coach at UNLV. Rebels will be in town, play Lobos in football. In fact, really good conversation. If you missed it or want to hear it again, it's wherever you get podcasts, or just go to our website, sports.mlabq.com, click on Opening Drive. Barry's doing one of the greatest jobs in college football. Rebels are 6-2, one of the best teams in this league. But they're playing, I asked them the facility question. They're playing in an NFL stadium, a state-of-the-art stadium, that JJ, part of the agreement for municipal funding, whether it was from I believe it was from the city, but it could have been state as well, was that it'll be the home for UNLV, that they'll have a locker room there, that's where they'll play their games, and that they are a tenant. They're not just the Raiders' second fiddle. And Gene, if you recall, Gene was the one who said the Lobos should have continued to play in Isotopes Park, and he always had a problem with when Ray Birmingham said, look, we don't get to take batting practice there, we don't have a locker room there. Basically, we go over there, we play, we go, that's it. Gene says, embrace the facility. Jeff, geesh, where have I heard that before? Using the best venue available to your advantage. I expected Odom to start crying. We don't even have our own locker rooms. We need our own place. Wow. But it's set up differently. They do, and they are allowed to utilize a facility as a tenant, not just a secondary tenant there. But all right. Carl said, whoa, Nelly, Jeff, tonight's the first real breeze for the entire roster, right? What's Richie hoping to see when he stops the watch? Lobos tonight in the pit. New Mexico Highlands is the opposition. Final exhibition game before they start it for real on Monday night. Expect to see some more Nelly Jr. Joseph, a little bit more minutes. We got a little glimpse.
16. So 24.
16, 24. What are you saying to me?
Minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Look, you know what these exhibitions are. I mean, you're going to see different combinations. They'll beat Highlands by whatever they beat Highlands by, and they'll get a run out of it. These are always the toughest press conferences for me when I was attending them regularly. What do you expect out of the exhibition against New Mexico Highlands, Coach? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get anybody hurt. And yeah, I thought Richard's answer yesterday was so good, whether it was yesterday or Monday, whenever it was, where he said, people say, you get an idea what you got. I know what I got.
Yeah.
He says, rarely does a guy stinking, and I'm paraphrasing, stink in practice or is horrible in practice is really good in a game. He says, he said, Coach, you never give me a chance. No, I give you a chance every single day in practice.
Or in those minutes.
Right? I give you, and he's been doing this long enough. I think anybody who's played the game, I don't know, is there a dude that, and you're all going to tell me about one dude. You all had a dude who was just a gamer, right? At this level, there's very few dudes who are horrible in practice that you should be playing in games.
They're going to be a gamer.
Yeah. Right.
And you want to just see your team execute against an opponent that doesn't know the play like they do in practice and doesn't know what's coming. And it's also just playing basketball because you're not game planning for these games. You don't have a scouting report in New Mexico Highlands. You have a scouting report on CSU Pueblo. You're just going out there, calling plays. Hopefully the guys are listening to the play calls, trying to execute the play calls, and go from there.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Richard was cheering for once in his life, he was cheering for the Broncos. As much as I hate the Pumpkins, I hate Travis and Tay even more. How about that win for you guys the other day? I was watching that one actually in the Denver airport. Wow, huh?
Wow, indeed.
Broncos beat the Chiefs. I mean, is that a good thing? Obviously, it's a good thing. But I mean, whatever reason, the Broncos play the Chiefs well, right? They play really well against that team. And I thought Russ was decent. The defense was terrific. You held Patrick Mahomes to what? No, 2 interceptions.
No tutties.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The run game didn't have the flu. The punt returner didn't have the flu. When he muffed the punt inside the 10-yard line, set up an easy touchdown pass to Jerry Jeudy.
Good thing they went and got him back on their team, though. Mecole Hardman Jr. Yeah. That was and he beat him 24-9. What a win, man! Man, I don't know what it means. I in the long run, I don't think it means anything. I don't think that the Broncos are very good. I just, for whatever reason, they play well against that club. You lost their 18-9.
Does it mean, oh my gosh, this team is going to the playoffs? No. But those things are important because it means the culture is not as bad as you thought. That is a team.
I think that's good. I think that's right.
That is a team that gave up 70 points in an NFL game this season. We saw that happen. And we were watching that second half and go, these dudes look like they've given up. They're not trying anymore. And to yet, within that same season, holding even under the weather Patrick Mahomes without a touchdown and win a game, that says a lot about that coaching staff and those dudes. Because what we love to do as sports fans is say, throw away the season, just look forward to next year. It's one thing if you're trading a couple pieces and getting third-round picks back. It's another thing to say, we're going to stop overall.
I was
Broncos haven't quit.
Conversation with someone the other day. Oh, yeah, the Broncos, but their defense is really good. I'm like, their defense gave up 70 points in one game, dude. But they gave up 9 to Patrick Mahomes this week.
Here's what I'll say about that, because we're going to talk about the 70 points a lot.
Well, because it's there. It doesn't happen.
In statistics, though, in the end, we're going to throw out the 70 and we're going to throw out their best game, and then we're going to really know more about this defense.
Are we?
Yes, we are. And I'll tell you this, that 70 game, yes, they quit. It was awful. It was ugly, but that is not really what the Broncos
So you threw out this game and then the 70.
Yes.
Right? Because is this their best defensive performance? The 9 points certainly is the lowest they've allowed.
So
they
far.
gave up 17 to Jordan Love. The week before, they gave up 19 to Patrick Mahomes when I don't think he had the flu. Right? They gave up 31 to Zach Wilson. They gave up 28 to Justin Fields. They gave up 70 in that game before that. 33 to Sam Howell. I mean,
I'm not saying they're the best, but I'm just saying that 70 skews the stats a lot.
It does. Well, sure.
Well, it is a part of the stats.
Well, it is, but I mean, it's media. People lean on that very heavily, and it kind of overlook some of the changes they have been making and improving.
No,
over
fair enough. In the
week.
last 3 weeks, they've given up 19, 17, and 9. And 2 of those were Patrick Mahomes. So
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
If I'm Vance Joseph, I sound like DC.
Yeah, you do.
And I am
Give me
putting
a
these
raise.
points out there and saying, this is my argument against it. If I'm anyone on that Miami coaching staff, I am putting that on my resume at the top. Be like, hey, I helped score 70 points against an NFL defense.
Again, look at that defense. Got really good. They're
And look at them.
Defense.
This is the
They're
way.
really good. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. The King has arrived in Albuquerque. The King is here. Did you just see all the glitter over here? The King is here. Kind of a big deal. That's next. Hey, cold winter's here. Like, not just coming, it's here. It's not good to your vehicle either. Give your car the protection it needs. Get a visit from On the Spot Automotive Detailing. I strongly recommend them. Why? Well, because they're great. Not only do they offer great detailing services, but their ceramic coating and paint protection film work like magic. No more mud, no more dirt, no more water stains. Their protective layering helps prevent UV oxidation damage to your car's paint. And with an opportunity to get a lifetime warranty, you cannot go wrong. How does this work? I get all the time, Jeff, do they really come to you? Like, is it really that good? Yeah, actually, it really is. Rudy just hit me the other day and said, I used On the Spot. They were great. Bobcat, who drives kind of for his other living. I've used them twice. They're great. They actually are. And yes, they come to you. You're at the office. They're in the parking lot. You forget they're there, and then you get a text. Oh, I go outside, and my car is detailed. Inside, outside, like literally like the day I took it off the lot. It's a great gift as well as we're getting into gift giving season, boys and girls. On the Spot Automotive Detailing also offers window tint services for your vehicle. Visit them and book online. OTSdetailing.com. It's OTSdetailing.com.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot! Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet! Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
The Sports Animal.
The King. The King is here. DC, the King, has arrived. The King of Sportsbooks, BetMGM, is now partnered with Isleta Resort Casino. They've got, so this is, you probably know Isleta has had sports wagering. They have now switched over and are partnered with the premier sports watching and gaming experience in the world, BetMGM Sportsbook. It's, according to what the release says, BetMGM is the market-leading sports betting and entertainment company with iconic sports book destinations across the country. When you go for odds, you go to BetMGM. I mean, that's one of the places, right? It's BetMGM. It's, I know you like FanDuel a lot. Or do you like FanDuel? Is that where you go?
To be honest, I try and go BetMGM because I'm noticing so many sites use it.
Mhm.
If I'm being lazy, I'll go on FanDuel because I know it's very easy to use. But BetMGM does seem to be the standard at this point.
They got a kickoff party, open to the public for people 21 and older on Monday from 5 to 7 down at the sports book, down at the beautiful Isleta Resort and Casino, where the fun begins. And this is kind of a big deal, man. This is a really big deal. I've kind of known this was coming for a little bit, and they just announced it. So MGM, and you asked a really good question during the break. Does this mean that now you'll be able to use the app, the MGM app? And JJ, you said the answer is no. That's a state law. That so mobile betting, mobile phone betting will still not be available.
Yeah, that has to be changed at the state level.
Okay, there you go. We degenerate.
Well, I'm still waiting to see how we did on the
Well, I went over 3 because I didn't give you anything. How'd you guys do? I just failed. I flat out told you I would give you something and I didn't. JJ and I are even on that.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll have to look for our picks.
How'd you guys do? You got them?
I'm guessing I was over 3, but that's
2-1 for
You?
DC.
What did he have?
He pushed Philadelphia and Washington.
So that, what does that make you? 7-14-1.
Sounds right.
And I was 2-3 this past weekend.
You were
Hit on the under with the Giants and the Jets and Cincinnati +4.
2-1. Yeah. All right. It's hard, man.
Hard stuff.
It's betting is really, really hard. Really, really hard. and that's why those places are there, right? You got a favorite bet? What's the Lobo spread this weekend? Do you know?
Opened at 10.
What's a number that interests you? Where do you start getting interested? I got it at 10 right now. Well, there's interesting stuff this weekend. Army Air Force is big. Air Force showed up 25th in the college football playoff poll, or the college football playoff standings that came out yesterday. It was very significant that Tulane was 24, by the way, and Air Force is 25, because right now the playoff committee values what Tulane has done with their one loss more so, and I don't know. There's 2 good wins at the end of the season available for Air Force, and then it would be a conference championship game. UNLV, that's in Colorado Springs, and then at Boise State. And if they can win those and then get through the conference championship game, it's going to be hard to turn away a 13-0 UNLV. I'm sorry, Air Force, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And give it instead. And we're talking about the group of 5 New Year's 6th berth, and give it to a Tulane team who would have one loss. But that's kind of where, well, it's not even kind of. That's where the standings are. The BCS standings are now. That's how you say BCS? College football playoff standings are now. BCS. What the hell is that? Holy smokes. Back when I was a kid, we had this thing called BCS.
Computer.
This BCS thing. And it picked the champions. And what is, I'm struggling a little bit looking at Tulane's schedule. What they are one loss to Ole Miss, which is better than anybody Air Force played, and I get that. But where are their good wins? South Alabama, Southern Miss, Nichols, UAB, Memphis is their best win. North Texas by a touchdown, Rice by 2. What makes that schedule so much better than what Air Force has done? And I get it, man. Air Force, Robert Morris, Sam Houston, Utah State, San Jose State, San Diego State, the Wyoming. The Wyoming wins is as good as Memphis, isn't it? Although Wyoming took a paddling this weekend. They beat Navy. Why is this one loss Tulane better?
And I'm looking forward to asking Jerry Palm.
Yeah.
This question tomorrow is, why did the playoff committee do this? They set these rankings the first way for a reason.
Yeah.
And they did this on purpose, not just like, we think this. They made a statement by saying a one-loss Tulane right now is in the driver's seat over Air Force.
And put them below all of the 2-loss teams. Yeah. Right? And the 2-loss teams are LSU, Notre Dame, Oregon State, Tennessee, Utah, UCLA, USC, Kansas, Oklahoma State, Kansas State. I am looking forward to that conversation tomorrow as well. All right, when we come back, I'm looking forward to going into the red zone. DC has put together some stuff in regards to coming out of the trade deadline now and hit the halfway mark of the season. Who's the best defense? Some of the surprising moves. DC's got a red zone for you. We got answers. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
Heavy delays.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
If you're just kind of getting into the world this morning, welcome to it. and happy November. Josh McDaniels has been fired as the head football coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Dave Ziegler is their general manager. He is no longer. Mark Davis overnight fired McDaniel and Ziegler, saying they need to go in a different direction. So if you had Josh McDaniel in your pool as the first head coach to get tubed, you are a winner. Go get some M&Ms or something out of your kids' loot from last night. With that, let's head into the red zone.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna Tom Brady this thing.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
All right, so now that the trade deadline has finally passed, we've been talking about the Chase Young move quite a bit this morning. So one thing I didn't really hear is where you guys currently rank the 49ers defense after acquiring the former first-round pick.
I got him top 5. I'm looking kind of what do I really like. I still think Cleveland has the best defense. I like what Kansas City's doing. I think Buffalo and Miami can be good. I mean, is top 5 too vague of a term?
No, I think that's right on.
It's kind of where I got them.
I think the 49ers are not a top 5 defense right now.
Okay.
I think they are a bunch of really good names, but statistically, Cleveland is by far the best defense. When you look at what they're doing, they're forcing opponents to punt on 30% of their offensive possessions. That's like 10% better than next best in the league. I think the Ravens have been a better defense. You look at what the Cowboys, the Chiefs have done. I think they're on the cusp of that, and acquiring Chase Young helps ignite a pass rush because the 49ers have been a little bend but don't break, but their expectation is to be much better than that.
Second and goal.
Ready, down, put.
In one of the more surprising moves, the Washington Commanders traded edge rusher Montez Sweat to the Chicago Bears. The Commanders will receive a 2024 second-round pick from the Bears in exchange for Sweat. Sweat, 27 years old, is in the final year of his rookie contract. He's tallied 6.5 sacks this season for Washington. The new Bears edge rusher has totaled 35.5 sacks in 67 games in his 4+ seasons with Commanders. Why did the Bears make this move, and what does it do for the Bears moving forward?
The Bears realized that at some point you got to stop trading your best defensive players and start investing on that side of the football. Even with all the talk about Justin Fields and the focus in the offseason, they did this last year when they acquired Trace Claypool at the trade deadline. It was like, there you go. This is a better football player. This is a better acquisition. And it's in the moment. Does it change things for the Chicago Bears? Nope. But you, at some point, you do still have to try to acquire talent.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. I mean, they're 2-6, and they got a quarterback that you hadn't heard of before 2 weeks ago and still don't know who he is. To prove to their fan base that they're trying that they haven't given up. I don't know what it does for them. Where they are. This of all the trades. I wonder how Montez Sweat feels about it. Like I went from I got a better chance in Washington, don't I, than I do in Chicago. I honestly, for the life of me, I don't get it. Why do it? Why am I giving up equity? I mean, I like him, but he's gonna be a free agent, so I'm not keeping him unless they think they're gonna keep him.
And that's the thing; it gives them a trial with him, see if you can get him in the building, get him acclimated to the city, and see. If
But they're gonna change coaching staff, right?
Perhaps, yeah. But getting that time with Guy, I think, is what they want.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Third and goal.
All right, as you mentioned earlier, the first domino has fallen. Josh McDaniels was relieved of his coaching duties late last night after signing a 6-year deal with the Ravens in 2022. So for the record, that means they will be paying John Gruden and Josh McDaniels close to $10 million each per year for the next 4 years.
Plus the next coach.
To not coach the Raiders.
Plus they're going to bring in Harbaugh and pay him $10 million.
That is insane. So now that I got that out of my system, $10 million each. So I ask, who are the next coaches? Who are the coaches with the hottest seats right now, and who gets the axe next?
Is it I mean, Eberflus is the easy answer, right? And then, but it's so weird because they just went out and made a trade. And it's the Bears, so I got to go there. I know Ron Rivera's on the hot seat, and the reason I look at Ron Rivera is twofold. They just traded away two of their best defenders, so are they just saying bleep it? And do they want to give Eric Bieniemy a run? But I don't see them. I just don't see them whacking him mid-season. So is Eberflus, or is Frank Reich in trouble in Carolina? Is that just way worse than we thought it was? I never think a first-year coach is the guy who's going to get, you take over a team that's got the first-round pick. I always feel like you get a little bit of leeway, but in today's NFL, I'm not sure you do. So those would be my two guys.
One of the things with the Commanders, they paid Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne on the defensive line. So we're going to pay 4 dudes new contracts in the span of 2 years on that front, so that it allowed them to have some flexibility to move those players. But I still think Ron Rivera is on the edge of his seat because you have a new ownership group. They're starting to get settled in. They're starting to get the feel of the NFL, bumping elbows with everyone else, what they want from this team. Eric Bieniemy, as you mentioned, is sitting right there, and he's been such a hot name. And do they give him a trial run potentially at the end of the season? And Matt Eberflus, because it's just, they can't get things going. And sometimes that's what happens, is things just don't go your way. Justin Fields hurt. Justin Fields didn't start the season good. But overall, those are things that get coaches fired. I've been waffling back and forth on the Frank Reich thing because he's put out stuff and they're talking about meetings with the owners and how involved the owners are. And maybe he didn't want Bryce Young. He's more of a CJ Stroud guy. So I could actually see that being a little dicey in year one.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, the power rankings are in again. We're heading into the midpoint of the NFL season, and the playoff picture is starting to come into focus. NFL.com, The Athletic, and Bleach Report have been close in their respective rankings this year, but this week not as much. Each site has the Eagles at number 1, so I'm going to read off 2 through 8. Then you tell me what site got it right and why. NFL.com has Ravens 2, Dolphins 3, Chiefs 4, Jacksonville 5, Cowboys 6, Lions 7, 49ers 8. Bleach Report puts the Chiefs at number 2, Jags 3, Ravens 4, Dolphins at 5, Lions at 6, Bills at 7, and the Cowboys at 8. Finally, The Athletic has the Ravens at 2, Dolphins 3, Chiefs at 4, Lions at 5, 49ers at 6, Seahawks at 7, and the Bengals at 8.
I like The Athletic right now because for me, this is I view power rankings as in the moment, not necessarily a projection of what is going to happen down the line. In the moment, I think the Bengals deserve a ton of credit for looking as good as they did at San Francisco. And Joe Burrow, by the way, is that dude. And it's why that dude wins so many games on the road at a high level. The Ravens and what they did beating the Detroit Lions, who are a good football team, are right up there. And yeah, I think the Athletics is what I'm going with.
I don't know if I got the Ravens that high. I know the Ravens are hot. I still have the Chiefs number 2. I think I've got them all over the place. Like I don't know that I love any of them. Maybe I go with Bleacher Report. I think I
guess it's how do you view it? Is this a projection forward or in the moment type of thing?
And I'm more of an overall guy. Yeah, I'm more overall. To me, and in the moment is a super overreaction to what happened last week. And so when I do rankings, power rankings, who's the best team, like I got Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Dolphins, Ravens, Niners, Jags, Bengals, Seattle, Dallas. That's 9. That's just me. I mean, and the thing is,
it's all subjective.
None of them matter. Power rankings are like the biggest thing that's absolute just talk fodder, right? None of them matter. It's not like the college football playoff rankings. It's not. The power rankings mean nothing. There's no strength of schedule. That matters. I mean, they got the 15th worst schedule. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It really does. This is the NFL more than anything is just flat out wins and losses. It's numbers.
No one knows what it means.
Yeah.
But it gets the people going.
Yeah, it does. All right, 505-246-0610. Come on in and respond to any of that. Raiders fire their coach. Who's next? What does that mean? Raider fan, where are you? Like, where are you? Are you good on this? Are you not good on this? Is it too quick? Were you sick of him already? Where are you? Meanwhile, Chiefs are going to Germany. And why one of their players says, this sucks. What is it, like, they know we're the Chiefs, right? We're not the damn Jaguars. Why are they sending us overseas? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. You're home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved.
Game, growing it around the world. You got fans everywhere. You got a unique game that they can't replicate anywhere else. They love it. Let's take it everywhere. Yeah, but it sucks. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck in DC. You can get in today at 505-246-0610. So the Dolphins and Chiefs will play on Sunday morning early. It is a Chiefs home game in Frankfurt, Germany. It's part of the NFL's annual international series. Why? Why them? Why not Jacksonville? Shouldn't Jacksonville just play the Panthers every week overseas? Isn't that they play twice? Did Jacksonville and London? But they're going to send other teams overseas. And this is this you could argue is the biggest game to date in the AFC this year. Right? This is a big freaking game.
Yes. 6-2 football teams, 4 of these 6-2 teams in the AFC.
And they'll be on early in the morning. So it's a big game. Marquez Valdez Scantling. I want to hear him say his name because Marquez. I mean, it's Marquez, right? Or Marcus. Marquez Valdez Scantling. Hates it. Quote from the wide receiver of Kansas City. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, obviously it sucks. So we had to travel 9 hours for a home game when Arrowhead's right down the street. But obviously we do have other fans that are all over the world, not just in the United States. So it gives them the opportunity to see some of their favorite players play. I know we got a lot of fans over in Germany, so I'm grateful that we get to give them that opportunity. But it does suck for the players to have to be away from their families. I got to find a babysitter for my dogs for a couple of days. Things that we got to take into account. But past that, it is what it is. End quote. Really? I mean, are we talking about first world problems?
Yeah.
I have not read that quote. That
Dude's got to find dog sitters.
Rover.com. Done. 1 second, solved.
You feel bad for old Marquez Valdez Scantling
Not even a little.
and his dogs? Poor dude's got to go to Germany this week.
Tough.
What's the difference, man? When he goes to Miami, he doesn't have to get dog sitters. He just leaves the dogs at the house.
Apparently, yeah, he just opens the bag and says, see you in a few days.
All right, boys, be good. Don't rip up the cushions. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football, even if it's in Germany.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
I think Marquez Valdez-Scantling better be glad he plays for the Chiefs and not for the Dolphins. Good morning to you. Happy November. Opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and DC. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. Josh McDaniel and Dave Ziegler, the head coach and general manager of the Las Vegas Raiders, fired overnight, relieved of their duties by Mark Davis, the owner. DC, you told me that the Raiders are now, for the next 4 years, paying both McDaniel and John Gruden $10 million a year to not coach the team, plus whoever they're going to pay.
That is what is being reported.
I mean, dude, I've been fired. I have. It's not fun. But it'd be a lot more fun if I was making $10 million a year for the next 4 years. Woo-wee!
That would certainly soften the blow.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think you'd probably come down okay on that.
Yeah, I'd be all right. All right, we're just talking about Marquez Valdez-Scantling, the receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to play in Frankfurt, Germany. And he said it sucks. It sucks that we're not sending the Jaguars over there. They're crap. Oh, no, that's not what he said. that why would this game, the Chiefs? But his reason that it sucks is because, quote, the players to have to be away from their families, or I got to find a babysitter for my dogs for a couple of days, things that we got to take into account. But past that, it is what it is. End quote. Dude, really?
Well,
will you do me a favor? Will you look up his salary, please? Please?
Yes, I will.
Welcome to the world, dude. I'm just going out of town next week. She's got to find someone to take care of her dogs. Any of you got dogs, you're going on vacation, you got a business trip. I mean, welcome to the real world. But what if he played for the Dolphins? See, for the Chiefs, it's a business trip. They're going to leave Thursday after practice. They'll get there Friday morning. They'll have practice Friday morning. There'll be a little free time Friday after work, but Saturday's the day before the game. They'll play on Sunday, and they get out of there. So they're kind of cutting this as tight as they can. The Dolphins, JJ, on the other hand, different approach. The Dolphins are already there. They got into Frankfurt on Tuesday morning. Why did they go so early? Well, their head coach, Mike McDaniels, wants to have his players spend some time not thinking about football, exploring Germany. Two totally different approaches. Which one do you like better?
There's been a lot of talk, a lot of studies about this, and I don't think anyone's come to a consensus. It's just, when do you want to leave? Do you want to be there for a week, or do you want to be there for 3 days?
Well, but then Marquez would have to get a dog sitter for, a whole week as opposed to just, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, players, dude, you got to think of big issues. How much does Marquez make? Can he afford a dog sitter?
3 year, $30 million. I think he's probably good on the dog sitter.
So he's making $10 million a year.
I like how he said he has to be away from his family and then only mentions his dogs.
You know how people with dogs and no kids are. Those are my kids. That's my family. Those are my boys. Those are my girls. You know that.
I do. I have dogs. I get that. But I was thinking when he said family, he might be thinking like
Didn't
his
you
mom
think maybe
or his brother.
my wife, my kids, my mom? Yeah.
Maybe human. Maybe.
Yeah, no, that's his family. I'm not angry at that.
It's so short-sighted.
It is so first world issue. How many people that go out of town that have to spend, whether it's a house sitter, put their dogs up? I mean, that's part of having a pet, right?
Yes, very much.
And what does dude do on a road trip to LA or to Minnesota or to Cleveland? They leave on Friday night, right? They get it on Saturday. You're gone for a couple of days. That's your issue. That's why it sucks. Send the damn Jaguars. They don't have dogs.
It's almost funny because I know of a handful of really high-end dog sitting places in Kansas City that would be more than happy to help him out.
You call your guy and let him know?
I got a guy.
Call your guy. Tell him to get on Marquez.
It's actually funny. My parents are using that guy right now because they're going to Germany for this game.
Is that right?
Same exact
Are
situation.
you kidding me?
Not at all.
See?
Yeah. My brother's doing the same thing in Denver.
What do you think Travis Etienne did with his dogs? When they had to go for 2 weeks to London. This dude's whining about it, honestly. He's whining about having to go for 4 days. What do you think Travis Etienne or Trevor Lawrence did with their dogs? Edward, you're on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Edward.
Well, good morning. We enter into the month of Thanksgiving, giving of thanks every day. So I'm abundantly grateful for this show. Great interview with the UNLV coach. That was really well done. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
You're welcome back, Jeff. I hope you enjoyed. Consistent. This week in the NFL, but last week I sent you a text, and I think I even spoke about it. 13 of the 32 quarterbacks in the NFL, or teams, had gone with a backup quarterback. I think we're up to 17 or 18 now, 8 or 9 weeks into the season. One of the things that people say, the old hats like you and I we don't fit. Well, you can't hit the quarterback and put a dress on him. If you lined up today's athletes in the 1970s and let them hit the quarterback, not a single quarterback would have made it through the season. That's the evolution of the game, and we all know about it. And so at 17 or 18 teams that have gone to a backup quarterback this year, we might get to 20 or 25 by the end of the year. It's just a stunning statistic. I think the Giants had I don't even know what the guy's name was.
DeVito.
One of the Italian guys. Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
He was out there playing quarterback.
It was Tommy, your pizza guy, the guy that was cutting your slices down the street. Yeah.
That's right. This weekend in the NFL is a telltale week. I think with the Chiefs and the Dolphins. One thing about the Cowboys, and I'm a little harsh on them at times, but they've been on a streak. And one thing we know is they can beat bad teams, right? I think the winner of this game on Sunday between them and the Eagles is going to win the division. I think if the Eagles win, they go up by essentially 2.5, 3 games. I think if the Cowboys win, they gain momentum and take control of the division. And there's a lot of football left. I think the NFL's does it every year. There's teams that start off, and then mid-season it kind of flips, and then it flips again post-Thanksgiving. But one thing that's abundantly clear to me, when Joe Burrow's healthy, he's the second best quarterback in the NFL by a wide margin. And I'm saying he might even be the best quarterback in the NFL. It's just that he's been dealing with injuries at the beginning of both seasons, but it's interesting. I think UNM has a chance this weekend to make some progress and beat a good team, and I'm kind of rooting for it. And then I think the Aggies are going to pull a very close win and become bowl eligible on Saturday.
Big for everybody.
Anyway,
all right, man.
Appreciate you letting me share my thoughts.
Good to hear you.
Have a nice week.
Be well. Aggies got a big one Saturday. If they can beat Middle Tennessee, they're in the league race. If they beat Middle on Saturday, JJ, they're in contention to play for their league championship. They'd be bowl eligible.
It's a spread on that one Saturday.
That's a great question.
Look that one up real quick.
505-246-0610. Hey, Frank, good morning. How you living, Frank?
I'm honored to follow Edward. Indeed.
Indeed.
Yeah. I'm so sick of Kansas City and Sideshow Bob. I'm sick of that act. I've been hating on him for years because I'm a Bronco fan. But, dude, travel is the best education you can have. Yeah. I sensei meine Unterhosen. Enjoy Germany. My God. So one last thing.
Yeah.
I have tickets to the Lobo games for 10 of my guys because you get a break when you buy 10.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go see the Lion King.
I saw it last week. It was good.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm not going to the game. I've kind of had enough. Anyway, basketball season. Love the show. We missed you, Jeffrey.
Thanks, Frank. Appreciate you. Choices, right? You got a lot to do. Do what you got to do. Saw the Lion King. I'm not gonna lie. Do I lose my man card if I told you I watched? I took Addie on Saturday afternoon last week.
Absolutely not.
So I missed the game. I missed was Oregon and was it Oregon Washington last week? No, was it Oregon Washington last week? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But kind of was checking. I'm like, is it rude to have the game on? All right. So during intermission, I put it on, and before the game, but it had. Actually, one of a good friend's board members, Sherry Jones, who runs the sixth man for New Mexico State basketball. She had something come up, and she called and said, "I got 3 tickets. You want to go?" And I'm like, "Wow, that's really cool." So,
I'm jealous. I've wanted to go to that. I'm going to try and get in before
it was spectacular.
I've read that for years, and that's one of the. I go to a lot of big shows as well, and that's one I've never seen.
It was spectacular. No, really had a good time with it. All right, 505-246-0610. 888-922-06. Did you want to hit something? You had that look in your eye.
Had that look in my eye?
Yeah,
what does that mean?
You did. Well, it had that look in your eye that you're like, hey, I kind of want to. Is there something you want to do? Okay. All right. When we come back, can we get into the James Harden thing a little bit? What it means that James Harden, when I woke up yesterday, was it yesterday morning when I woke up? That was the overnight news yesterday, that he is a Clipper. So last 2 nights you woke up and you're like, wait, what happened while I was asleep? Last night, Josh McDaniel and Dave Ziegler, the coach and GM of the Raiders, got fired overnight. The night before, James Harden got traded. I'm going to tell you why I think the Sixers made out great. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
If you're just kind of breaking into the world this morning, a little bit overnight news. Josh McDaniels, the head football coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, is no longer the head football coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Josh McDaniels, along with their general manager, Dave Ziegler, fired late last night by Mark Davis, the owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Did they even say who the interim is going to be? Is Rich Bisaccia around?
Antonio Pierce.
Is that who it's going to be?
Yes.
Where's Rich Bisaccia?
It's in Minnesota.
Yeah. Who should have got the job the first time?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, he's the guy they should have hired. Could they hire him this time around? He'd take the job, wouldn't he? Is that a good job?
Yes.
Because there's only 32 of them, or that's a good job?
Well, you got good facilities, right?
You got a brand
got an owner
you got
that's
a brand new stadium,
not scared to spend money.
You got an interesting market. You got a passionate fan base, a division with the Chiefs, an owner who will spend money. I mean, it feels like it would be a good job with a lot of opportunity. All right, the night before last, we woke up in the morning and James Harden was traded, a 10-time All-Star traded from Philadelphia to the Clippers. Like, I don't know why this took so long. This was the outcome that was coming the entire time, correct?
Oh, it was just finally getting to the point where the other person was willing to say yes.
Which is
in this
Clippers.
case was the Clippers.
Well, but this is where he wanted to go. This is where they've been playing. This was the game, right? And we got to a point where, okay, they got a haul of players. They did Philadelphia. This is where you and I kind of see this thing differently. Philly wins, because they got rid of this guy. Jeffy's a 10-time All-Star. He's still a good player. Yeah. And he was ripping that team apart from the inside if they would have let him. He's a guy that tried to get on the plane last week to go to the opener, and security told him, you're not welcome on this plane. He's a guy that opted in for $35.5 million and didn't want to be there. He just wanted his money. So they get all the players, Marcus Morris and Robert Covington and Nick Batum and KJ Martin. They get a 2028, which, what year is this? Unprotected first-round pick, 2 second-round picks, a 2029 swap, an additional first-round pick from Oklahoma City. To me, JJ, they got a bunch of assets that they can move. I don't know how they were going to do anything.
This is step one of two in making the Philadelphia 76ers better.
Because they'll use these assets to go out and get something else.
Yes.
Yeah. I just get rid of them, get as much as you can. They just stacked up assets. They got expiring contracts, and they can go move stuff.
A bunch of movable picks in the future because that's what the NBA is all about. Movable future first-round picks that when you finally get there, like, wait a second, we got this pick from when?
Yeah.
Who?
Well, that's the crazy part about moving picks in 2029. Yes. There should almost be a rule that you can't move a pick more than 3 years in the future. Because you know that you're not going to be there. The guy with whom you're trading is in. GMs last, what, a year and a half, 2 years, 4 years max in the NBA? What's the average lifespan? So these guys are trading away assets in 2029 that they're going to be 4 jobs down the line. The coaches aren't going to be around. They know they're not going to be around. So I think Philadelphia made out great because they got rid of them and they got assets. All right, 505-246-0610. Ray, you want to talk about the Raiders. What's up, Ray? How you living?
How's it going, guys?
Good. What's up?
Yeah, I'm glad that they got rid of him. The only thing that I'm pissed off about is they should have got rid of the defensive coordinator, too, Patrick Graham. But I think that's going to be coming because Antonio Pierce was just a linebacker coach under Patrick Graham, and they put him as the interim. So I'm pretty sure that Patrick Graham's going to be gone pretty soon. But, yeah, hopefully we get Harbaugh. Now that all this stuff is going on over there in Michigan, I think he's just going to pack up and leave when the season ends because it seems like it's getting deeper and deeper.
So is Harbaugh who you want? Is that what you want?
I'd take Harbaugh, yeah. And, Versace did a good job, too. I wanted him to stay when it happened, too. And hopefully, like you say, he's a special teams coach for Green Bay. Maybe they'll interview him. But they were talking about it this morning, too, about somebody that the coach from Kansas is going to be one of the hot items
Leopold,
to come to the NFL. Yeah,
Josh Leopold. Yeah.
But hey, anybody's better than McDaniels. The guy's ridiculous. And our defensive coordinator, I don't know, they can pass all day. When you put a strong safety to guard Detroit's fastest man, and he's leaving him 4 yards behind, and he can do it all night, it's ridiculous.
All right, man. No, I appreciate you. And he's making $10 million to go away, by the way.
I did get an answer to your GM question. In the history of the NBA, there's been 245 GMs. The average lifespan is 5.6 years.
All right, so I'm trading a pick in 2029. What year is this?
23. So you can trade a pick 7 years out.
It's insane.
That is insane. I think in the NFL it's 3 years. Is that right, JJ?
I'd have to double check just to confirm.
It's insane. I mean, it's somebody else's issue. Let me lay a load of poop in someone else's lap. I have to deal with it.
What was the trade we saw earlier this year that had a pick in 2030?
What are we doing?
It's just insane.
Yeah. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Rudy.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. What's up?
So, here's convergence, right? We're talking about the faders here.
Okay.
And they're just, that's a guy with too much money and no vision. And so he built that beautiful stadium. And what I wanted you to ask Coach Odom is, and I think he said it a little bit, is what would happen if something like that happened here? You know, if we fixed our stadium up. But I think Jim's done with Michigan. I think they're going to hound him out. Now it's coming out that all these teams that have money are doing the same thing, sending advanced scouts out. Michigan wasn't doing anything that any other team was doing, but you know, there's a lot of people that are very jealous of the Michigan brand. So
well, they got
I'll just say it that way as an alumni.
They got caught.
Yeah, but Jeff, everybody changes their signals every week.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you picking up by scouting?
They should.
If you're not changing your signals every week, then it's your fault if the other team beats your butt. And ask Rocky Long and ask any coach. They change their signals every week. Now, this would all be over if you had headsets, right? That would end all this nonsense.
What do you mean?
But
you mean
communication device
like the NFL
in the
has,
headset?
like the NFL has.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that you communicate directly with your quarterback, so that you don't have to signal in. And it's a couple of schools that didn't want to do it and held everybody else up. I mean, they even do it in Division II. I think they've done it in postseason. Is that right?
I don't know, but
they're going to experiment with it.
They'll get there. They'll get there.
Yeah. So if you get there, then. But I think Jim's done. The hot rumor is that Jim's going to go to the Raiders and John Harbaugh is going to leave the Ravens to come back and coach at Michigan. Have you heard that one?
Why?
Don't know. He's a Michigan guy, and maybe he's done his run in the NFL and he wants to go back to college. You know, you never know what motivates people, do you, Jeff?
No. That'd be a tough act to follow, especially if Harbaugh gets it done this year. That's a tough act to follow.
Yeah, but, you know, they're brothers, and I'm sure they talk all the time, and they've been trading defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators for a while now. So
no,
who knows?
I'd not heard that.
It's a crazy world.
Yeah.
I'll be out there in Ann Arbor this weekend, so I'll send you some pictures and a shout-out. I'm going back there for a football game, and then, unfortunately, two of my law school buddies passed away, so we're turning it into a memorial service.
All right,
too.
we'll bring a New Mexico Bowl beanie for your head. It gets cold out there, so.
I have it packed already.
Attaboy. All right, see you. Safe travels.
Take care.
All right, got the new Isleta New Mexico Bowl beanies that are. I think I got to go pick them up today. They just got done. On the facility thing, and Barry Odom was with us at 7:15. If you missed that, that's really worth your time to go back and take a listen. Barry is the head football coach at UNLV, first year, and one of the best stories in college football this year. Rebels are bowl eligible for the first time since 2013. It's the earliest they've been bowl eligible since 1984. They had never had 6 wins before November since 1984. He's doing an unbelievable job. But I asked him about facilities and how important is it they play in an NFL stadium. And so to Rudy's point, look, you're not getting an NFL stadium here. And I know I've talked a lot about facilities in the last month. And I get it because I've been in on a lot of conversations about how important facilities are when it comes to football, when it comes to conference realignment, when it comes to, everything, right? Bowl games, everything. And they just built the Fertitas, I think of 34, everything's right. When in college athletics and anything gets built, the first name of it is how much it costs. Well, that's our $6 million weight room. That's our $34 million players lounge, whatever. All right. That's why I think they put $35 million into it. Because that somehow that's the look at the size of mine. You know what I'm saying? That's just putting it on the table. Cost me $35 million. But he was saying, the facilities matter. Kids come here, they see it. It's as good as anywhere in America. They get to play in an NFL stadium. Yeah, it matters. What would it do here? I think it makes a difference. And that's why everybody is bettering their facilities. And I'm not going to get back into this again today, but you got a facility that was built in the 60s that's had very few upgrades. It's time. It's time, boys and girls. It's time. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Rangers are on the brink of popping bottles tonight. Will it happen, or do the Diamondbacks stay alive? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night and, almost every night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
ANML.
So I saw this story the other day. I think it was yesterday. It was yesterday. And I wondered, would it be as big of a deal if it was in Colorado? And I would hope it would. Evidently, the Colorado football players got robbed at the Rose Bowl. They played UCLA the other night. They got beat 28-16. Did you guys talk about this yesterday?
No, I didn't hit on it.
All right. So there was jewelry, cash, there was stuff that evidently, and look, this has happened before. It's not like it's never happened before. It's an issue. There's a lot of places you go. If you watch a college basketball game, JJ, and you probably know this really well. A manager very often will there's a rolling suitcase that a manager will take out to the bench during the game. And that's like the players put their valuables in it. They all get a little bag. They put their wallets, their watches, their phones. Like a lot of times, instead of leaving it in the visiting locker room on the road, because stuff gets stolen. If they stole our gear, whatever, they steal our gear, but you didn't lose your watch, your grandma's ring, or whatever, your money. But at the Rose Bowl the other night, evidently, and it's been confirmed by the Pasadena Police Department, by UCLA's athletic department, that in fact Colorado players were robbed. Deion Sanders came out and said the NCAA needs to reimburse them, and I do believe they need to be reimbursed or taken care of in some way. I'm not certain. I think it's the NCAA that's on the hook, and I'm wondering how you guys feel. Deion's quote, "Our kids got robbed during the game last week." I think that's a travesty. I would expect the NCAA to do something about that. This is the Rose Bowl. They said the granddaddy of them all, right? I'm sure granddaddy had some money. Grandpa would have some money to give these kids, end quote. I don't know if UCLA's got insurance. The Rose Bowl's got insurance. Obviously, there was a problem with security in the visiting locker room. Do you feel the NCAA is the one who should reimburse? Or somebody should, right? And I don't know how much. And you're going to go through a report, and they're all going to go, I had $800 on it.
Right? Well, and then the valuables.
Yeah.
Having to record what type of chains and watches, everything. It's a bummer, man.
I lost $17,000 worth of stuff, right?
There was that there was a good amount. And I understand the frustration. Anybody.
Hell yes.
Having that happen, and you're looking at like, well, was there no one back here watching? And evidently there was.
And I remember when I worked for the Scorpions, Central Hockey League, we would have at home, make sure we had, Mike Bruton at the time, who's since passed, was great at security, but made sure he had people outside both locker rooms. But on the road, same thing, man. We had a suitcase the players put their stuff in, their watches, their rings, their wallets, their whatever. Quote from Deion again, I'm going to have a list made out from these young men, and I know they're going to be truthful about what they lost, so we can try to get it back for them. They may not be able to get the items back, but they should be able to reimburse them. That was unbelievable. It don't make no sense when you're out there balling and playing your heart out and you get robbed at the same time. I hope we can do something about that. NCAA, you do something about everything else. Do something about that, end quote. Again, these student athletes should be reimbursed. Do you guys feel it's the NCAA's job to reimburse? Is it UCLA's job? I mean, look, UCLA still hadn't paid back the Holiday Bowl when they bailed on them 4 hours before game time a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know that they're going to pay back Colorado's players. It is one of the worst things ever, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, who's liable? Who do you think is liable? Who should be liable?
Be the building?
So you think whoever's managing the building, so it should be the Rose Bowl.
Unless there's signs up.
City of Pasadena.
They say, hey, we're not responsible for lost or stolen items.
And there probably is, but that's still some crap. I mean, I go to your place to play game, and you can't secure the locker room. It scares me because I don't think this is uncommon. It made me think about how do we do it. I'm going to talk. We run our facility from UNM, right? I want to make sure, when I sit down and Kerry sits down with UNM's people, do we have security at both locker rooms, making sure nobody's in there during the game? It sucks, man. That's the last thing I want. But Deion's right, but I'm not sure. I think he's totally right. Is this The NCAA's got a lot of issues. Managing the locker room at the Rose Bowl or at South Alabama or Massachusetts or Toledo's or Washington State's home games, I don't believe is one of their issues, right? This is where I'm struggling. To me, it's just not on the NCAA. And I'm not here to defend the NCAA. Tell me how the NCAA was lax somehow in this.
No, they wouldn't be the first place I'd go.
But that's where Deion went. That was the first place Deion went. I'll side with him. These young men should be reimbursed for what was stolen. Now, how do we know it was stolen? We got to take their word for it, right? But I'm struggling going after the NCAA on this. There's plenty of things to go after the NCAA on. I'd be going and looking at UCLA. I'd be looking at the people who manage the Rose Bowl, whether it's the city of Pasadena, whoever, ACAL security, whoever it happens to be. This sucks, though. I mean, it just sucks that I got to go and worry about what I take. I remember, man, when I played high school basketball, we played a game in Watts. We played at Jordan High School. And I remember we had a bunch of dudes on our team that lived down there. They got bussed in. It was back in that day of busing. And I remember we were so naive, we had no idea what we were walking into. And the coach said, all right, you're dressing here. Don't bring anything. Bring a few quarters for the machine if you want. And the dudes who lived down in that area in central LA, they were way more nervous than we were because we had no idea. And I remember the bus took the wrong turn, and when we're backing out, they threw bottles at us, and we won the JV game. I was playing JV and ran out and put the high C machine, put money in to get a high C, and I remember kind of sprinting back out. It was sketchy, dude. But the coaches are like, do not leave anything in the locker room. Take your bags, your bags, put them under the bed. It was weird. That was back in the day. I mean, you should feel pretty secure. If you're going and being a visiting team, no matter where you are, especially in the Pac-12, it's insane. All right, Rangers pop bottles tonight. Is the World Series over tonight?
Bottle. No.
D-backs tonight?
One last hoorah for the D-backs.
All right, you like the D-backs tonight, DC?
Yes, I do. I've said this many times, though. My heart is with the Rangers, and if they pop bottles, I'm totally good with that.
I think Diamondbacks, the Rangers they haven't lost a road game in the playoffs. Is that going to be the story of this team? They went undefeated on the road and win it in Arizona tonight? It might be. Uvalde tonight? Rangers win tonight. Tough. Rangers are hitting the baseball, too.
They are.
All over the yard. Corey Seager's MVP. Rangers, I think, win tonight. I got a text at 505-246-0610. Good morning. I'm a former Lobo football player. I played for Rocky. He didn't change signals from 2019 to 2021. Appreciate you getting that in. Thank you. All right. That was in response to what Rudy just said. All right. When we come back, we'll wrap everything up, get you everything you need to know as you go through your day. And as the college football playoff standings came out, the first standings, and they don't mean anything yet, but they kind of do. We just heard in the last CBS sports update, Pac-12 is the best league in America this year. But yet, if the football playoffs started tomorrow, they would be left out of the playoff. How can that be? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures.
Sports Ned James hit me. He went to Jordan to play back in the day too. He and I back in the same era. They went to Jordan High too. At Grant High football, watched the game from the rooftops of the projects. Valley guys had no idea. We didn't, man. We had no idea. We're just going down. How bad can it be? We learned. You're right, Ned. We had no idea going down there. All right, here's what everybody's going to be talking about as you go through your day. First and foremost, the Raiders made a change at head coach. Josh McDaniels is out, as is their general manager, Dave Ziegler. This happened overnight. Both been fired. Antonio Pierce is going to be the interim head coach, and Mark Davis made that move. World Series Game 5 tonight in Arizona. Diamondbacks trail 3-1. They lost 11-6 to the Rangers last night. The Rangers can pop bottles if they win tonight. They're going to send Nathan Uvalde to the mound and try to get that done. And the Lobos play tonight, Lobo men's basketball. Exhibition at the Pit. UNM versus Highland. This is one everybody asks for all the time. Why are we playing Fort Lewis? Why don't we play one of those in-state teams? Okay, there you go. You got it. So Highlands just played Arizona, by the way. You know that? They played at Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you get Lobos and Highlands tonight. All right. College football playoff standings came out yesterday. So do you agree with the people who say the Pac-12 is the best league in college football this year? I do.
Yes. They got the depth.
Okay. I mean, you look up and down where Arizona State's their worst team damn near beat their best team, right?
Yes, they did.
Okay. This is the final year of just 4 teams into the playoff. If it ends today, and it doesn't, and this is why I don't get too crazy about this, the Pac-12 is out. It would be Ohio State playing Florida State, Georgia playing Michigan. Those would be your 2 games. Washington's 5, Oregon is 6. Washington, I don't know, maybe they get dinged a little for what? For who they played, who they didn't play. They beat Boise State and Tulsa and Michigan State non-conference. They've beaten Cal, Arizona, Oregon, Arizona State, and Stanford. Now, the last 2 games have been tight. They still have SC, Utah, Oregon State, and Washington State. And then the Pac-12 championship game, presumably. Here's why I'm not losing my mind, JJ. If Washington runs the table, I believe they jump the loser of the Ohio State-Michigan game. But Ohio State's number 1. If Michigan beats Ohio State, do you think Ohio State tumbles from 1 to out?
Yeah, the Michigan one is I'm so intrigued in because they're blowing people out the build, but they do not have it.
Who are those people?
You're looking ahead to that, the Michigan Ohio State game, and are we getting a scenario again where is one of those teams with 1 loss good enough, even without the conference championship? And here we go. And
what's Michigan's best win?
UNLV.
They beat them 35-7. I mean, they've beaten East Carolina, Bowling Green, Rutgers, Nebraska, Minnesota, Indiana, and Michigan State. And to your point, I mean, running people off the field. They get Purdue this weekend, then they'll get Penn State, Maryland, and Ohio State. I don't know how who's after the top 3 in the Big Ten, after Michigan and Ohio State and Penn State, who's the best team? And I'm not sure I know that answer. Is it, Wisconsin? Is it Minnesota? Record-wise, is 5-3, but they're really. Rutgers is 6-2. I believe Rutgers is, but they're just not on the same scale. It's not the same at what Washington's going to have to go through. I think by the time we get there, if Washington gets undefeated, there's no way to keep out an undefeated Washington, right?
No, there's no way.
You cannot put a once-beaten non-Big Ten champ in over an undefeated Pac-12 champ. Now, if Washington gets beat by Oregon along the way, now we got a conversation. Or is a once beaten and presumably then went and
won the championship, I would take them over
the 1-loss Big 12 team or Big 10 team?
Yes. We're assuming that's probably coming down to Michigan, Ohio State, and then whoever loses that's an outside of title game.
Yeah. We'll talk with Jerry Palm about that tomorrow. He's going to be with us at 8:30 from CBS Sports, and one of their bracketologists, and certainly expert when it comes to this kind of stuff. So looking forward to that conversation at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Well, we should have a Lobo football player tomorrow at 8 as well. I always enjoy those conversations. That's actually
great.
One of my favorite times of the week is 8 o'clock on Thursdays. We've had, and you know who was great, by the way? You and I don't know if you guys talked about it on Friday. Friday afternoon or Friday morning at 8 o'clock, we had Keyshawn Elliott, the linebacker from New Mexico State. I thought he was so good. Like, I was thinking about that a lot over the weekend. A young man who had all these Power 5 offers and decided to go to New Mexico State and is making a difference down there. I thought he was terrific. So if you missed it this morning, Barry Odom was with us. He is UNLV's head coach. UNLV is one of the best stories in college football this year. They are 6-2, one of the better teams in the Mountain West, and they'll be in town on Saturday to take on the Lobos. But what Barry Odom's doing in his first year as head coach in Vegas is something that really hasn't been done around there. They're bowl eligible for the first time since 2013. It's the first time since 1984. The Rebels have had 6 wins before November. 1984. I believe that to be 16 plus 23. Is that 29 years ago? Yeah, 29 years ago. Hadn't happened. So he's doing something pretty special there. All right. You probably get some football tonight, too. I'm going to guess you get a little Maction if you'd like that. Did you watch the Toledo thing last night? I found myself, because the baseball game was such a blowout, I found myself looking over to that just because I was intrigued by the weather. Get Maction, Ball State, Bowling Green, and Kent State, Akron. If that's kind of your flavor tonight, you get hockey. Did the Kings end up winning last night, by the way? They were up 1-0. The Kings won again. You know the Kings are 5-0 on the road? I'm just saying.
So the Spurs absolutely robbed the Phoenix Suns at the end of that game.
I did see that too. A little win.
Blowing a double-digit second-half lead, the Phoenix Suns.
Devin Booker was out again last night, huh? So their big three.
Devin Booker and Bradley Beal.
Yeah, their big three hasn't played together yet. Yeah.
Credit KD. He's out there playing basketball. That's what we want to see from these dudes. Go play ball. Night in, night out.
You know, I want to circle back on the Harden trade, because with the Clippers, we've looked at the Philly side. The Clippers now have Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, a bunch of other dudes, right? No, but am I wrong?
A bunch of other dudes, yes.
And I'm like, wow, what a great team. If this was 2016, they're never healthy. How many games? Okay, so we're 3 games into the season, so there's 79 games left-ish. If I set the over-under at 19.5 out of 79, would you take the over-under that all 4 of those guys, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, will all play together? Now, Russ will play, and I think Harden will play, right? Kawhi load manages. He's hurt a lot. Paul George. I mean, where's a fair number that would get you thinking? Oh, is 19.5 way too low?
The problem is it's not.
It's obscene.
They said load management, but I'd have to take the over. I just don't know how all these pieces fit.
They all want the ball, don't they? They all want the basketball.
Like, so James Harden's your point guard, but then how do you mesh his minutes with Russell Westbrook? And then Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and because Kawhi is a creator with the ball, and he can get his buckets at the end, but so can James Harden, so can Paul George. Russell thinks he can, but he's not touching the ball in the fourth quarter.
They got 3 dudes on that team making over $35 million a year.
Now, the one thing for them is all of them can hit free agency after the season. So if it is just an outright disaster, they can reset.
But if it's not, they're all going to want to get paid more than the 35, 45 that they're making. And Russ is just there playing ball for $3.5 million.
But they got an owner that will do it.
They do.
Steve Ballmer loves this.
I just, to your point, I don't see how it works. And I look at the West and I say, okay, so you got 4 superstars, or once were. And then I say, does that make them better in Denver? Well, I don't think it does. Does it make them better in Golden State? I don't think so. Phoenix?
Nope.
No. Sacramento?
Nope.
The Lakers? Maybe. Probably not, though, right? Dallas?
Show me the last James Harden team. Because James Harden's the one, well, it's not me, it's you.
Always.
He's forced himself out of all these situations.
Always.
And he was in a great place, playing with Joel Embiid. And you had the emergence of Tyrese Maxey. And you get to a game 7 and you score 6 points. And yet we're supposed to sit here and think that this collection of players is going to be able to compete in the Western Conference, is going to get to the Western Conference Finals when you have to get through Sacramento and Golden State and Phoenix and the Denver Nuggets. Yeah. It's a nice collection of names. That's it.
We got an email from David on the Rose Bowl robbery. He said the home team was robbed from their locker room as well. I guess I didn't know that, which sucks even more. I mean, the organized crime, criminals are out there and they're so emboldened. I don't even know what to tell you. David, I appreciate that. I did not know that. And it sucks even more. My whole point on it, there's nothing good about it. I'm just not sure I believe it's the NCAA who's to blame here and who's the one who should be reimbursing them. I think it should be the people who manage the Rose Bowl, the facility. That's all I'm saying. You know, Deion went after the NCAA, and I'm like, the NCAA's got so many issues. Their issue cannot be the security at their 134 stadiums and who's watching the locker room. Who do you got overseeing that sitting in your office in Indianapolis? Who's watching the locker room in Huntsville, Texas this week for the Sam Houston game? You get someone down there for that? Thank you to Barry Odom. He was with us today. He's the head football coach of UNLV. Really good conversation. Go ahead and find that and share it if you'd like. It's on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the opening drive. Jim Rome Show is next. I heard with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On walks in here at 4 o'clock, and then we're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio. We're going to do that at 7 a.m. Adrian, great work. DC, always. Thank you. It's good to see you guys, man.
Good to see you as well.
Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind and loving and caring and sharing, and we will smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part,
so that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.